is bracing for an influx of people. Why experts say this could lead to an increase in sex trafficking.
What we're learning about the people killed in a fiery crash on Highway 67.
So this is just a result of his own action.
Public pushback against the sale of a popular Pacific Beach restaurant. What its owner is telling us tonight.
Aerial reinforcements, how CalFire is bringing a giant military-grade tanker to join the wildfire fight here in San Diego.
And the price match policy here at Target is ending. We'll tell you what the company and consumers are saying about getting the best deal.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
We begin tonight with breaking news out of the college area, where a standoff between San Diego police and a woman in a van has come to an end. Our cameras were rolling right here when that woman was taken into custody by officers just within the last half hour. Police were called to 69th and El Cajon Boulevard just before 4 o'clock today over reports of a woman with a weapon.
You can see she's obviously very distressed. We're told she refused multiple orders to come out of that van, and that it prompted officers to use a flashbang grenade and tear gas, and you could hear that click, click, click coming from a pepper ball gun, shooting pepper balls into the cabin of the vehicle. Right now, we're working to learn more information, and we'll bring you the latest on later editions of CBS 8 News. Our other top story tonight, tens of thousands of people soon descend upon San Diego for ComicCon, and San Diego police are warning that with big crowds comes more crime.
Today, local leaders came together to discuss how people can stay safe. CBS 8's Steffi Roche joins us live from the gas lamp, where crews are setting up in time for Comic-Con. Steffi?
Well, this is an issue that's often talked about around big events like the Super Bowl, the NCAA tournament, and of course, Comic-Con. With more people pouring into San Diego, there's an increased vulnerability for exploitation. Now, last year during Comic-Con, multiple law enforcement agencies led a massive human and sex trafficking sting operation that led to multiple arrests and even the recovery of a 16-year-old victim. Today, the president of the People's Association of Justice Advocates, Shane Harris, was joined by San Diego County District Attorney Summer Stephan to launch a public awareness call to action on human and sex trafficking ahead of Comic-Con.
In San Diego County, sex trafficking was measured at an $810 million industry, with the average age of a victim is 15 and 16-year-olds, with an average of about 5,000 victims annually. This is a fight that's what we've been in because we want that number to be zero.
There are warning signs that experts say indicate that sex trafficking is occurring, such as a person seeming overly fearful or submissive, physical injuries, or an unaccompanied minor at night who may falter in giving an explanation on who they are and what they are doing. And DA Stephan said a main point of today is that she wants to make it clear that there are consequences for human and sex trafficking. But for now, reporting live in the gas lamp quarter, I'm Steffi Roche, CBS 8.
Thanks, Steffi. The Port of San Diego is identifying the man they say hit the USS Midway with his boat last Friday. You see the collision right there. 40-year-old Frank Deanna was arrested on charges including boating under the influence and hit and run. After the collision, the vessel left the scene and was later found near the Coronado Ferry landing in San Diego Bay. Officers reached out to all 7 people on board and identified who was operating the boat. No injuries were reported, so that's good news, and the Midway itself did not sustain any major damage. A family is coming forward tonight to honor 2 loved ones who were among those killed in last week's fiery crash on Highway 67 in Poway. Marciela Rivera and his son, Emmanuel, were heading to a job site when they were involved in a 3-car collision. Rivera, described as a devoted husband, father of 5, and proud grandfather, died alongside his son Emmanuel, who leaves behind a 7-year-old child and a baby on the way. 3 others were killed in that crash. Investigators are now reviewing video evidence to figure out what exactly caused the collision.
New tonight, CalFire is calling in heavy artillery as wildfire season intensifies. This massive C-130 air tanker, capable of unleashing a powerful line of defense from the sky, will be stationed right here in San Diego County. CBS 8's Brian White went to the Ramona Air Base today, where construction will soon be underway to make room for that firefighting giant.
Yeah, the arrival of a C-130 will be a game changer in the battle against wildfires. And here at the Ramona Air Attack Base, preparations are already underway to make it operational. This is a look at the massive C-130 Hercules, soon coming to CalFire San Diego, a military-grade aircraft with a huge capacity. Currently, CalFire has 2 air tankers here that hold about 1,200 gallons each of pink fire retardant. But the new C-130 will carry over 4,000 gallons, more than triple the load.
That's going to be a game changer for us here in San Diego County, being able to deliver that amount of retardant right off the bat.
To accommodate the much larger C-130, Ramona's aging tarmac and retardant loading systems are being rebuilt. The new design will allow planes to pull up to a drive-through style bay for faster, safer reloads.
Right now they kind of come in and they swing around. They're going to change this system to more of a pull-through bay. So there's going to be bays where the aircraft can come in, reload, and then take off.
The upgrades will take 8 to 12 months, during which CalFire will send their current tankers to reload at Hemet-Ryan Air Base in Riverside County. To cover the longer reload times, they'll deploy additional tankers when fires break out. This C-130 will be the third of its kind in CalFire's statewide fleet, joining aircraft based in Sacramento and the Central Valley. It'll be staffed with a pilot, co-pilot, and flight engineer, adding to the base's firefighting capabilities.
I know our firefighters and pilots here are proud that we're going to be able to house this aircraft, just because it's a great stride for CalFire. We've invested a lot of money in these planes.
With wildfire seasons growing longer and more severe, this new aerial firefighting muscle could save critical time and resources, and hopefully lives. Brian White, CBS 8.
Thank you, Brian. The owner of a popular Pacific Beach restaurant is making a desperate plea for community support tonight. The French Gourmet has served the Pacific Beach community for nearly 50 years, but owner Michel Malico says business is crashing after he sold the property. There are now plans underway to convert that property into a 23-story development. Malico claims he had no idea that's what the buyer intended when he accepted the offer. That move, though, has sparked protests from community members. Malico says he has since noticed a decline in business and says in an Instagram post that he may have to close sooner than anticipated.
For 6 months of 2025, I've been a financial disaster. I am depleting my personal resources to keep the French Gourmet afloat.
Now, community groups are fighting the tower, and they say they never called for a boycott, but they're not surprised by the fallout. The state's density bonus laws are what allows a project of this size to move forward, but it's not a done deal just yet, as it still is under city review.
San Diegans could see their water bill increase over the next few years as the City of Council voted to approve a water and sewer rate hike. Council members voted 6-3 to approve a proposed 62% water rate hike and 31% sewer rate increase over the next 4 years. And that's expected to push average monthly bills to around $180. The department says it is needed to cover rising costs. The increase isn't final just yet. A public hearing and final vote is expected on September 30th. The Department of Education is expected to release more than $1 billion in grant money for after-school programs. This comes after the Trump administration froze more than $6 billion in already approved funds earlier this month. San Diego County school districts were set to lose $50 million overall. The reversal to release these funds comes after 10 Republican senators reached out to the White House asking them to do so. It is still unclear when those funds will be released. Target's popular price matching policy is ending. As
CBS 8's Jenny Day reports, for years now, the company has matched the price of an item if a customer could prove that it was being offered at a lower price somewhere else.
Target, of course, hoping for its loyal customer base. But with this change coming in just 1 week from today, the responsibility is going to fall on us, the consumer, to compare prices.
We all want to get the best price.
Times are super hard right now.
For people who are struggling, every penny counts.
As retailers compete to get customers in the door, Target shoppers were guaranteed the lowest price if they were willing to check the competition.
You walk into a Target and there's a cheaper product at Walmart, you don't worry about having to go to Walmart, then that can be a good policy.
For up to 14 days, if you showed proof the item you bought was cheaper on Amazon, Walmart, or even their own website, Target would match it.
Bag of apples is going to be a little bit 10 cents cheaper at one store versus the other. That's probably not something that we're too concerned about. Where it really makes a difference is on bigger ticket items.
SDSU economics professor Hisham Foad points to a decline in revenue and tariffs set to start in August.
The margins are a lot lower when import prices go up, and so they need to be a lot more competitive.
He says ending the price match policy and recent consumer boycotts following rolled back DEI policies can negatively impact the social capital of a company.
If you're a firm and you've got this policy, now your customer base feels like, oh, you're betraying us, you're taking this thing away from us. You're only willing to do this if the financial landscape has fundamentally changed.
Target telling Bloomberg most price matches happen within Target. We're adjusting our price match policy to exclusively match our in-store, app, and Target.com pricing, something consumers I spoke to still don't love.
They should either price match it or make the price the same online as it is in the store.
The consumer shouldn't have to work very hard to find the best prices.
I'm not one to go from store to store to store to get the cheapest price at this store. You waste gas and you waste time.
So if you are looking for the best price, you now have to check in-store and online. Reporting for CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day.
Good to know. Thanks, Jenny. Wilson Middle School and Hoover cluster students are celebrating a new place to play.
San Diego Unified leaders, along with city officials, held a ribbon-cutting ceremony on a joint-use turf field, which has been months in the making. The field will be open to the public next month as part of the city's Play All Day partnership. That gives people in the community access to the field after school hours. It's already being put to good use by students in the Summer in the Heights sports camp, which combines soccer and volleyball with engineering and career lessons. Customs officials find hundreds of pounds of meth in a rather odd shipment.
Those details still ahead. Plus, what's driving beef prices to record levels?
And later, what you need to know as doctors report an increase of COVID-19 cases across the country.
We are starting off this week with mild conditions out there. You have lots of afternoon sunshine. You're seeing that into our early evening hours, right before our sunset, and a few clouds that are out there. We're looking at the marine layer tonight through tomorrow morning and maybe some patchy drizzle. Details are ahead.